Hey, I've got some exciting news for you. Your virtual professional is coming up on their 1-year anniversary. Can you believe it? Oh, my word. Hopefully by this point, they've become an integral member of your team. They fully have digested where you're going in the business. They know what your 3 to 5 year vision is for yourself and for the business. And they know how with each quarterly action plan or each weekly plan on how they can help push forward the business. I am so excited about that part. But now there's a little bit of housekeeping we need to take care of. 2 things in particular I want to talk about in this video. The first is the hourly wage that your virtual professional gets, and if you should be giving them a raise. And the second is a benefit that we give our virtual professionals at FabVP that you may want to consider giving your virtual professional as well. And that's access to an HMO, which is medical coverage. But first, let's cover the salary. When we hired your virtual professional, we gave them a living wage. We gave them a wage that was at the top of the market or even a little bit above. And as they've grown into roles with your company, now it's time to decide, do you keep them at that level? Do you give them a small raise? Or if they have simply exceeded expectations and knocked it out of the park, do you give them a bigger raise? So if your virtual professional has done adequately, or you're not sure if they're a key team member for the long term for your company, you may decide to give your virtual professional no raise or maybe 25 cents an hour. I remember when I hired my first virtual professional, the staffing agency told me, hey, at the end of the first year, you want to think about giving 10 to 15 cent raise, because they were really trying to compress the rates for all virtual professionals around the country. And that didn't seem fair to me. So at the very least, we need to be talking about if your virtual professional has met expectations, do we keep them at that same level or do they get a quarter raise? And then if they have really knocked it out of the park, it's entirely possible to give your virtual professional a 50-cent raise. Or maybe if they have become that incredible superstar, if you have uncovered the diamond in the rough, maybe they're worth $1 an hour. That's something that I'm happy to jump on a call with you. My management team can jump on the call with you and we can talk through where we think your virtual professional's abilities are in relation to the rest of the team and what a reasonable adjustment to their compensation would be. So that's compensation. The other is HMO. One of the benefits we give our virtual team members after they've been with us for a year is access to an HMO, which is medical coverage above what they typically get as Filipinos. This is up to 100,000 pesos, which is about $2,000 of coverage. An all-in cost in a hospital is 5,000 to 10,000 pesos per day plus medicines. So 100,000 really it's good coverage for if something should hit the fan for the virtual professional. And because the virtual professional is more than likely the primary breadwinner in their household, this is just extra comfort so that they can rest assured that they're going to get well. They're going to get healed as fast as possible with really good care should something happen. The cost for the HMO, it depends on the age of the virtual professional. If your virtual professional is in their mid-20s, cost for the HMO is going to be $350, roughly. If your virtual professional is in their early 30s, the cost for the HMO might be $500 to $600. And then if your virtual professional is nearing 40, that cost can be up to $700 for the virtual professional for 1 year. That's annual pay, which is the least expensive way to pay. There are other ways to pay where you can pay periodically, semi-annual, quarterly, but that becomes more expensive. You're going to typically pay another $100, $150 a year if you pay that way. So one of the questions would be, looking at your virtual professional and the relationship that you have with them, do you plan on them sticking around for the next year, the next 5 years? If that's the case, bite the bullet, write the check for the annual pay, and be done with it. It's just a once a year expense and you can budget for it. If you're not sure that your virtual professional fits into your long-term plans, but you still want to give them the benefit of the HMO to help entice them to stay longer, you can think about a quarterly or a semi-annual plan. And one of the things we've done with our virtual professionals is we've asked them to sign a contract. So if I'm paying for an annual plan, we're asking them to stick around for a year. And in that contract, if they leave before a year, then we have the right to go after some of the funds to cover some of the expense for the HMO, knowing full well that we're probably not going to get all or even a good portion of the dollars that we've spent on the HMO. But it's at least allowing us an opportunity to recoup some of those costs. So if you'd like help in setting up that agreement with the virtual professional, we're happy to jump on a call and help you with that. So that's it. It's a time to celebrate. Your virtual professional has been with you for an entire year. How exciting is that? And now we get to think about what it's going to be like for the next year. So if you've got any questions, reach out to me or the management team. We're happy to help. But we look forward to creating more freedom and balance, both in your business and in your life. Take care.